A couple of months ago, a junior from my engineering college got in touch with me and invited me to her wedding. I congratulated her, and we were fondly recollecting our college memories, and somehow the conversation drifted back to weddings and marriage, and she ended up saying, I want my marriage to be like yours. You guys seem to be perfect for each other. So I told her, not really. The idea of perfect, or the best has always made me a little uncomfortable. Your marriage will obviously be very different from mine or any other marriage for that matter. So it's totally up to you. That got me thinking, and I ended up writing this letter to my partner, my husband, which was like an aftermath of my conversation with this acquaintance of mine from my college days. So here it is. Dear human I live with, one of the reasons I have stopped sharing look at us being so happy, coupley images of us in public is because I felt like a fraud sharing only one side of the story for a considerable amount of time. Because I believe human relationships, including non-romantic, non-sexual ones, cannot be only happy all day, every day. We are all human, we are all flawed. There is nothing to sulk about or be proud of, but be aware of and not be in denial of what seems to be a universal human condition. Thank goodness for these flaws, for they make us want to be better with each passing day. Won't life be dreadfully boring if all the relationships were just perfect and the best? What will be left to strive for? My fellow seeker of beauty and truth, bear with me as I try to be nothing if not forthright here. We lived together for months before we had a non-wedding, a mock wedding if you will, for the sake of our immediate families, your parents and my mother. Two people who love each other need no validation from anyone outside of themselves. But we did it for their happiness anyway. It has been nearly 4 years since that ceremony, during which we had a ton of fun. And it is pretty amazing that we have managed not to kill each other. We have lived together for longer than that mock wedding, so there isn't even a strict anniversary. So it has really been nothing more than living every day as beautifully and as meaningfully as possible. I love you for what you are and what you're not too. And it is all so fluid and changing, for we learn and unlearn and transform every day. The only hope is that it is for the better. Sometimes simply tolerating one another is no small feat, if you ask me. To want to live with another person every day is indeed a big deal, a completely different beast to deal with, one that the conventional ideas of marriage sadly never prepare us for. At times, it may seem frustrating and outrageous that we challenge each other's notions, perspectives, and understanding in provocative ways, including the seemingly small things. Squeeze the damp toothpaste from the bottom of the tube. It's your turn to clean the toilet, do the laundry and the damn dishes. But there are also times when negotiations are done in gentler ways, and may they always outweigh the louder ones. Thank you for not subscribing to the crippling, damaging ideas of romanticism. Thank you also for a very important conversation that we had before we signed up for this. I cannot expect you to magically, suddenly get emotionally attached to my family just because you fell in love with me. And neither can you from me, especially as someone for whom emotional attachments are based on common interests and reasonable expectations and a willingness to accept the other person's histories and past sufferings and their ways of healing, even before thinking of calling them a loved one. Of course, this is not to discount the fact that the basic human respect, affection, and courtesy will always be there for those around us, and it is always a two-way street. This might outrage a lot of our own kith and kin, let alone those who might not even know us well. But isn't accepting our own truths and facing them honestly better than hypocrisy and charade? I certainly cannot do the best in laws in the world pictures when I cannot even bring myself to do the best husband in the world pictures. I am sincerely happy for those who are capable of such sudden attachments, but thank you for understanding my incapacity for them. As I break into this paragraph, I hear Andy Williams' sonorous voice going, "Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. So let's do all that and more. Let's keep making art together. Let's create beautiful things, which does not and won't include another human. Let's travel a lot in this big, bad, beautiful world we live in. Let's see as much wildlife as we can and venture into the depths of forests and soak in their non-silences. And let's cook and bake and drink and make merry. We might now and then fight and argue to the point of naysayers doubting our integrity, but let's always keep on doing all that we love anyway the rest of the time. Differences come and go, people come and go, but perhaps what endures is love that does not forget to respect the space we need as individuals. Love whose light does not cast a shadow on the other, but only mingles with the glow radiated from one another." Thank you for being a part of my flawed and quietly fabulous life. It is so painfully short. May we make every single day count. Sincerely, always, Girl Writing Letters by a Sunlit Window.